Daniel should win it in the first 6 rounds, 7 rounds. After that, it's a long night.
A number of analysts are offering their opinions on the fight between Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker, and British professional boxer Derek Chisora has also weighed in on this mega bout. He made stunning predictions ahead of their fight. Besides this, Frank Warren has also shared his thoughts on this upcoming fight. He recalled speaking to Tyson Fury about this fight. Frank went on to propose this fight would be a tough one for Daniel Dubois.
Tough fight, former world champion. In fact, I said to Tyson tonight when we were talking, I said, you know, the age of Joe, and that, he said he's only 31, and I thought he was older than that, but he is actually 31. Former world champion, he's been in with everybody, so you know it's going to be a tough fight for Daniel, and it's one obviously I'm looking forward to. And
while some analysts view Joseph Parker as a tough challenge for Daniel Dubois, Dubois himself is fully prepared to fight at his best. He recognizes the toughness of his opponent, but remains focused on the bigger picture, this fight being a stepping stone toward a shot at the undisputed world title. Despite the high stakes, Dubois exuded confidence during his face-off with Parker, showing that he's ready for the challenge ahead.
This is the fight that's going to lead me to, you know, challenging for the undisputed world title, so, you know, I need the tough test, and this is what my team put in front of me, so I'm confident of coming through it.
While staying focused on his upcoming battle with Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois also emphasized the bigger picture for his career. For Dubois, maintaining his momentum and proving himself as the best is a top priority, with his ultimate goal being to collect all the belts and solidify his place at the top of the heavyweight division. He said, "Getting all the belts and just being in the best fights, the biggest fights, this is one of them. Joshua was the last one, so I'm going to roll, and I need to keep that momentum around, you know, to become the best and prove that I'm the best." Joseph Parker also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight, describing it as a significant challenge. He acknowledged that Dubois, with his 3 solid victories, has proven himself as a formidable opponent. He said, "Oh, listen, it's a very important fight. It's a big fight and a big challenge and a big task. You have a fighter like the boy, Dubois, who's come 3 with good wins that I didn't think he was gonna get, and I said, credit to him for getting those wins in the fashion that he did. I feel like this is going to be the best." Joseph Parker confidently assured that this fight would bring out his best version. Reflecting on his previous wins, he acknowledged that Dubois would present a different kind of challenge, but emphasized that he is fully prepared. Parker highlighted his patience and hard work leading up to this moment, expressing that he's been waiting for this opportunity and is ready to prove himself in the ring against Dubois.
You know, Dubois don't want to be fighting, and this is going to be the best Joseph Parker. I've been in form, I've been patient, I've been working hard. I've had, you know, 2 good wins, Deontay Wilder and Zhang, but Dubois is going to bring a different test and a different challenge.
Derek Chisora has offered his insights on this upcoming fight between Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker. He predicted that Daniel would knock out Joseph in the first 6 rounds.
Daniel should win it in the first 6 rounds, 7 rounds. After that, it's a long night. But I can guarantee you, one of those men is gonna take a knee in the first couple rounds.
Former British professional boxer Johnny Nelson also offered his opinion on this fight. He applauded Parker for possessing strong boxing abilities and suggested that he will give a massive beating to Daniel. He said, "I think Parker is a clever boxer, obviously a better boxer than a tougher boxer. I think he'll weather the storm because he can. Sometimes you get fighters who are really good at messing you about, really good at surviving, just boxing on the back foot, and he'll drag. I think he'll drag the fight out long, but there is no way he's gonna knock Daniel out. I'd be very surprised if he did, but I think he beats him by more points." Simon Jordan also previewed this upcoming fight. He asserted that Daniel Dubois would prove to be a tough opponent for Joseph Parker this time.
That if Joseph Parker can take Daniel Dubois deep into the fight, he can potentially drown him in deep waters as the fight goes on. I personally think he's going to blast him out there. With no disrespect to Joseph Parker, I think he's in great form. And I think he's a great fighter now. I think he's all the things that are perhaps...
Dean White also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight, highlighting Daniel Dubois' growth under the guidance of his trainer, Don Charles. He praised Dubois for evolving into a formidable force in the ring. Reflecting on Dubois' last fight with Joe Joyce, White admitted that he didn't expect Dubois to bounce back after that loss. However, Dubois proved him wrong, making a strong comeback and securing victories over several solid opponents since then.
Real solid fight, man. Daniel's become a real real wrecking ball under Don Charles. I think he's blossomed and he's come out of the woodworks. You know, when he lost to Joe Joyce, everyone had him as a critter, and I didn't even think there was going to be a way back for him, to be honest. And now he's, you know, was it WB? Is it WBA world champion, or is he WBA world champion, or is he WBO? Which one is Daniel?
IBF.
Is it IBF? Oh, sorry, my bad. That shows what I know about boxing. But anyway, but you know what I mean, he's done a great job coming back and rallying back, and he's beat some solid fighters.
White praised Daniel Dubois for his outstanding punching power and excellent jab. On the other hand, he regarded Parker as a skilled counterpuncher with impressive speed, highlighting the contrasting strengths that will make this matchup particularly intriguing. He said, "Joseph Parker is another man. There's two guys that I would say that had a resurgence, Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker. Both had great wins. I think this is a real crossroads fight. Daniel, in terms of power punching, is the bigger puncher with a great and solid jab, great right hand, but Parker is a loose, good boxer, counterpuncher with good speed, so I think we're in for a great fight." At the same time, Nick Campbell, who has sparred both Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker, has weighed in on this fight. He shared his observations on Dubois through the sparring sessions he had with the fighter.
His kind of mindset is, I'm there to work. He walks into the gym, puts his hands out, wrap my hands please, jumps into the ring, does his warm-up, and as a sparring partner you just need to be ready for whenever you get called. And when you're in there with him, his mindset is to try and take you out pretty much. That, I think that's just, when I'm in the ring, my job is to try and beat whoever's in front of me by any means necessary, and that's what he does. So it's definitely a different...
Nick Campbell went on to highlight the best qualities of Daniel Dubois. He asserted that Daniel throws the strong punches. Nick comparatively proposed that Dubois is the one who hits harder than Joseph Parker.
Yeah, listen, Daniel's a massive puncher. Every single shot as well, there's weight behind it, especially his jab, which I touched on in the interview, is probably his most underrated punch. But nah, listen, I'm not saying that Joe doesn't punch hard, he does, trust me. But in terms of pure power, then I would probably have to side with Dubois on that.
While making comparison between the qualities of both the fighters, Nick Campbell proposed that Joseph Parker has better footwork than Dubois. He praised Joe's fighting skills and said, "I think Daniel actually has very underrated feet actually. He uses his feet really well to get out of trouble, but I do think that Joe's the silkier boxer with box IQ, and I do think he's more fluid in his movement, and I'd have to go with Joe." Furthermore, Nick Campbell analyzed the better ability of adaptation in both of the fighters' boxing skills. He suggested that Joseph Parker has a great ability to adapt a few different styles, and on the other hand, Daniel Dubois lacks this. He said, "I think that Joe has the better ability to adapt. I don't think Daniel can really adapt his style. You can stop him from doing it, but with Joe, he's a bit more versatile. He can mold himself better to a few different styles and pick a game plan that's going to work for him in a fight, as opposed to Daniel, who is just going to come in, set high pace, try and bow you over with shots." Australian professional boxer Justice Hooney also shared his thoughts on this fight. He favored Joseph Parker due to his fighting abilities. He thinks he has got all what it takes to beat Daniel Dubois.
I think Joseph Parker has what it takes to beat Dubois. He's got the speed, footwork. Just as long as he doesn't, stay in there and get caught up in Dubois' fight, I think he's got what it takes to get those saddles.
Shane McGuigan also weighed in on this fight. He pointed out that Daniel Dubois will get a stoppage over Joseph Parker in the first 4 or 5 rounds. He said, "I think Daniel will stop him in 4 or 5 rounds. He's going to go and let his hands go." Dan is a ferocious puncher, but if it goes past 4 or 5 rounds, Parker's got a hell of a chance for sure. It's just whether he can get through them. Dubois showed how devastating he can be against Anthony Joshua, the former unified heavyweight world champion. He dropped Joshua multiple times before taking him out with a tremendous right that finished the fight. Shane McGuigan reflected on the previous fights of Dubois and said, "He didn't give AJ the respect. He just went and let his hands go. With Daniel, everything's about confidence. He's seen Parker on the deck. He'll have confidence. He didn't see Joe Joyce on the deck. Maybe if he boxed Joe Joyce now Jang stopped him, he'd go in there with a different mindset. I think he'll go in there against Parker like he was against AJ. AJ's been put on the floor against Andy Ruiz Jr. He's going in there with a lot of confidence." Meanwhile, Joseph Parker has continued his intense training ahead of his fight with Daniel Dubois. He is preparing at the best, pushing himself beyond the limits. Another analyst who weighed in on this mega bout is the famous commentator Adam Smith. He realized it as a good sign for Daniel Dubois taking a defense against Joe Parker.
I love it as a match. I think it's a very good sign that Daniel Dubois is taking a defense like this. But Joseph Parker's been in phenomenal form. Him and Andy Lee have got this great bond. So too is Daniel Dubois with Don Charles.
Adam Smith regards this fight as a terrific one and goes on to propose that if Joe Parker manages for a knockout against Daniel Dubois after 5 rounds, it would turn out to be a very hard fight for Dubois. He also admired the power of Daniel and recalled his fight with Anthony Joshua that resulted in a sensational knockout by Dubois. Besides valuing Daniel's strength, Adam Smith suggested that Parker is also in his best shape at the moment, highlighting that this duo matchup is a tremendous one. He stated, "I think it's terrific. I think if Joe Park is still knocking around after 4 or 5, it becomes a very hard fight for Daniel Dubois. But Daniel has got real power as we saw against Joshua, so yeah, perhaps he will be down as he's been knocked out by Joe Joyce, you know. Dubois is the fresher guy, but Joseph Parker's in such great form at the moment. I think it's a terrific matchup." As Adam Smith looks at Joseph Parker during his prime, Daniel Dubois holds a different perspective. Ahead of their upcoming fight, Dubois expressed confidence, stating that he plans to prove Parker is past his peak once they step into the ring. While acknowledging Parker's versatility, Dubois firmly believes he is superior in every aspect of the game. He promised to deliver a performance that will showcase the wear and tear on Parker, hitting him harder than ever before.
He's a veteran. He's come through some good fights, but I just feel like I'm gonna be better than him in every department and go through him like you know, just go run right through him and yeah, show him his age in the ring, make him know that he's an old fighter. He's been in wars before, so just show him the wear and tear that's really hitting it on him.
Adam Smith expressed concerns about Joseph Parker's extended time out of the ring, suggesting that it could pose a challenge when he returns to action. Meanwhile, Daniel Dubois has remained active, having fought Anthony Joshua as recently as September. Smith acknowledged that this could work against Parker, but if he brings the same level of fight he showed against Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder in the past.
Real momentum. The one thing against Joe is that he's been out of the ring for a while. I thought they were going to keep him busier in Saudi. They haven't. It's going to be a number of months since he's been in the ring, whereas Daniel obviously fought AJ in September. So that might play against Joe, but if Joe shows the sort of form that beat Wilder and Zhang, it's going to be a very hard fight for Daniel Dubois.
Simon Jordan has picked Daniel Dubois to stop Joseph Parker when the pair lock horns next month. Jordan believes Daniel will prove a bridge too far and expects him to emerge with a stoppage victory. Speaking to TalkSport, he said, "He's a very good fighter. I just think Daniel Dubois will be a step too far for him. I don't think it's a formality, but I do think Daniel will win, and I do think that he'll stop him." Alfie Clegg also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker. While he didn't delve too deeply into a detailed preview, he praised Dubois for consistently improving with each fight. Clegg noted that Dubois' stunning victory over Anthony Joshua had exceeded his expectations, leaving the boxing world shocked. Alfie expressed excitement for the upcoming bout, stating that he's eager to sit back and watch both fighters give their best in the ring.
Listen, I think Dubois has just done nothing but improve. And obviously, Parker, listen, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight. I can't call it. I really can't. I haven't sat down and even thought about it, to be honest. I think it's going to be a cracking fight, but I haven't looked too deep into it yet. But like I said, Dubois, he shocked the world. He done what he did to AJ, and really, I didn't really expect that at all. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, after the fight with Joyce, I was like, do you know what? It's a little fight for AJ. But Dubois made some noise. He done his business, and it was great. It really was.
Australian professional boxer Jai Opataya also shared his excitement to see the fight. He emphasized that both fighters have earned world titles for a reason, and he believes this matchup will bring out the best versions of both men. He said, "I don't think he's an overconfident man. All this press conference, this is his tour. This is for you guys, you know. They're fighters. They're world champions. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing, and let these words for you, you know. They win world titles for a reason, and Parker's been there too, you know. I feel like this fight is going to be the best, and we're going to see the best version of both of them, so it's exciting." At the same time, Joseph Parker spoke to Radio Raheem about his upcoming fight. He highlighted how he would take advantage of his skills in fighting against Dubois. He is planning to bring all of his experience in the ring this time.
I'll be able to use speed and movement. I'll be able to use experience. I've been in the ring with a lot of top fighters, and had some good wins, had some losses, but I'm able to bring all of that and use it with this fight in front of me.
Furthermore, Joseph Parker shared his fighting plan. He asserted that he is working harder to get the best out of his abilities. He said, "It would be nice to be bigger, but still have, if not better speed, good movement, and better endurance." That's what we've been working on, and we've just been quietly working and just enjoying it and building and building and building. That's all for today, viewers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this epic showdown between two of the best fighters in the division. Who do you think will come out on top? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.